Hi, Tom here from Allergens Released. Today we're going to make marinara. So to get started, let's find out what we need for that. So for marinara, we're going to need ground tomatoes, which I picked up 2 28-ounce cans of just ground tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. Either one is fine. 1 cup of red onions. You can use yellow if you'd like, or white onions if you like. I prefer the red because it adds a little bit of a added flavor to anything I use. I'm gonna have a tablespoon of basil, a tablespoon of thyme, a tablespoon of parsley, a tablespoon of sage, a tablespoon of rosemary, and a tablespoon of oregano. 4 tablespoons of garlic and 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. Meanwhile, I have in this pan heating up, I have 2 tablespoons of canola oil heating up. So let's get started. So we're going to start by taking our onions and we'll add them to the pan. And we're going to take our garlic, we'll add that in. We're going to take 2 teaspoons of salt, go right in there with it. A teaspoon of pepper. And we're going to take our sugar. We're going to put all that in. So just to kind of balance out the acidity of the tomatoes in your sauce, it'll add a more rich, full flavor. So we're going to let this saute for a couple minutes, all that stuff come together. Also, you're going to need a 1/4 cup of red wine. I'm just going to get that ready for you right here. So I actually found a red wine, or actually little vineyard wines, that are kilo accessible, as I like to call it. So that he can consume that he normally won't be able to consume on a regular basis. So once we get this started and going, we're going to start to work on our chicken next. So what we're going to need is we're going to need some chicken breast, and with that, so I just pick up your local family pack at the store. And I'm going to prep that for you once I get this going. So, see now, but there's some juice starting to come out of all these vegetables, and that's all those flavors just coming together. The salt and the sugar are bringing out all the juices of all the vegetables, the garlic, the onions. You know, and it's just going to pull up, and all those things are going to come together right at the bottom of this pan. So I'm going to let that saute for a couple minutes. Okay, so I'm going to add my wine now. What the wine does, wine adds some sweetness as well, but it also works as it deglazes the bottom of the pan. So when you cook stuff starts to sit at the bottom of the pan as it starts to cook more and more. So what that wine does is the acid in the wine picks that up and puts that back into whatever it is you're making. So you get all that flavor back into your dish. So we're going to let that reduce and let that wine cook off. That alcohol of the wine cook off. So right now, I have this on like a medium to high heat. It's going to take a couple minutes for that alcohol to burn off. So now that the alcohol is going, we're going to add our tomatoes. And we'll just stir that in, incorporate all that together. And we're going to add in our herbs. I like using fresh herbs as opposed to dried herbs. I think they release their oils better. They release them immediately, and you can put them in at any point in time in the process. Whereas dry herbs, one, you have to use less because the flavors are concentrated a little more. So if, like, for instance, I'm using a tablespoon of each of these herbs, if I was to use dried, I'd have to use a teaspoon. 1/3 the difference in the herbs. So, and you have to put those in when I'm sauteing those vegetables to start to bring all that flavor out. It takes longer for that flavor to incorporate into your dish. So, and then also you have to look at what they do once the to get that, preserve those, to dry them, to can them, to package them. Sometimes they put like a what I like to call an anti-clumping device. Sometimes it has gluten in it, sometimes it has soy in it. So you really have to kind of look at your label and see what they're doing with it. You know, seeing how they're holding it, preserving it. So, just to keep that in mind if you're ever doing it, always check your labels. So I'm going to turn this down now, because I want this just to simmer now for the. That's going to take about an hour to cook. So I'm going to sit here and stir this occasionally while I do other things. Give this a stir. Make sure you turn this down to low when you want this, because you have with any tomato product, you have to be worried about it burning. And if you leave the thing too high and you don't stir it properly, it's going to cook too quick and it's going to start to burn. And if that burnt bottom of the pan gets burnt, that flavor is going to get into the entire sauce. So just constantly give it a stir and keep it on a low flame. There's no rush. Let's give this a try. See where we're at here. That's starting to all come together. That's what you want to do. You just want to cook, with this slow cook, so to speak. Check on our sauce here. Oh yeah, it's coming along really well. Starting to taste that garlic and those herbs, and then tomato just coming together beautifully. Our marinara is done. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to come in and I'm going to coat these with some sauce. Can you see that? I can see that. Nobody knows the difference. Get a taste in here. Give me a knife. Give me a fork. Try some of this chicken first. You got some crunch from the breading. You got tenderness from the chicken. Cheese is creamy. Parsley is warm and cooked through with our sauce. Oh yeah. Something for the whole family to enjoy. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And remember, food is good for everyone. Have a good day.